Alright, today is the day. We're going to do the IS38 upgrade. I know I said I was probably going to do it next week, but we're going to do it right now. So my dad couldn't wait any longer. So now we're going to get straight into it. Here's the turbo. And then here's the kit, the hardware kit we bought for it from Euro Tuning. This is the gasket kit, all this stuff right here. I'll put a link to this in the description so you guys can buy it too. It comes with everything you need, all the hardware. And then this is what it came with. So what we're going to do is start off by taking off the intake, all right there. The inlet piping, down pipe. We're just going to move the down pipe out of the way and then take everything off the top. Big boy. So we removed the battery for better access down in here. You can get your hands in there a little better. This is your charge piping, plastic.
That's gonna have to come off, right?
Yeah. So could do that.
Is this coolant line?
So what we did is we took off the whole harness right there, just unplugged everything. You have to take your cam position sensor off, all that. You just unplug and we laid it down. Now we're going to be removing hoses right there and just moving forward. Be careful with those plugs because they are very brittle, so don't break those. Whole line right there.
And these are different sizes, so we need to remember on that coolant line, the shorter one is on driver's side. So I'm gonna I'll make notes.
Okay, shorter one went right there, right there, and then the longer one went in here on the block. When taking off these, the nuts, it's double nutted. So make sure you shave down like a 10 millimeter just so you can get it in there and hold this so it doesn't rotate the whole thing, because you could chance ripping one of your grounds, and that's no fun. So we got all this stuff off the top. You got the coolant line all loose. It's still connected down here, but now we're gonna work on the turbo stuff and getting all that figured out.
Oh, I gotta get this whole coolant line off.
With your turbo inlet, this piece right here, that's your PCV. It's super hard to get off, and you literally just have to yank it off. There's nothing special to it. It's just super tight on there. So don't be afraid if you feel like you're gonna break it, because you won't. You just pull it straight off. Alright, so we made more progress. So we got the charge pipe off right there, the rubber one. We started taking out those. Those are T25 like we said. Now we're gonna work on getting the turbo shield blanket thing off.
Heat shield.
Heat shield. And what size are those?
This is T25, but I'm still working on the same.
So we're still working on the sensors. But basically,
actually, if somebody knows the names of these, what these are called. I don't know the name of them. Did you loosen it already?
Yeah. Just one back there. Recommend moving the downpipe, so just taking it off and moving it to the side, just so you have room for your hand. So now it's a game of how to wiggle it out.
Just like that.
Master of his hands. Now you can see the turbo. Remove the downpipe right there. We removed all those sensors along there. These two lines. And you can see your O2 sensor. Basically the turbo's right there. And once you move this, you'll have enough room. So you could take the turbo off and put the new one in. Alright, so what have we done? I don't remember.
So we had an issue with the feed lines on the backside. It's really impossible to reach down there with normal size arms. You have to have real skinny arms to get back there. We finally got them off, at least the bolts that hold them, but the one line we can't get out of the block, and I think it will come loose once we get the turbo loose. We'll probably be able to get it out of the block at that point. So that's what we're working on now.
So basically, there's two lines, coolant and oil. The oil's on top, right there. There's two coolants on the bottom, return and feed. And basically, instead of taking all the lines out, we're only taking the ones that are attached to the turbo off and leaving them attached to the block. But the one that we need to take from the block is kind of stuck in there because the turbo's in the way, and it's a hard line, so it's really hard to get out. So we just loosened everything, took the turbo bracket off. Now we're loosening the turbo bolts so we can move the turbo and then pull the hard line off with it. But we wrote out a list, like that's the turbo bracket. We labeled it top and bottom, turbo heat shield, feed lines, V-band. All our stuff is lined out and marked so we know where it is. And so where we know where it goes, we got it out. We had to shimmy it out a special way. I couldn't tell you how. You'll have to figure that out yourself. But here it is in all its glory. here's the new one. So now we gotta swap all this crud over to that one and then put it back in here.
That small little hole.
So now we're taking a break. It's only took us about like an hour and a half, 2 hours. Well, that's pretty good. Alright, we got everything switched over. Pretty straightforward process. I will say that this Euro tuning did not come with the proper O-rings, so I would probably say go with OEM if you can. But it did come with everything else, like the flange bolts, the heat ring, and stuff like that. But definitely go with OEM for O-rings. We reused some, just like 2. This car only has 30,000 miles on it, so we don't see too much of a problem. They're still pretty squishy and round instead of flat, so we're not too worried. But everything is tightened up, and then we're gonna have to adapt the wastegate. My buddy's gonna come over and help us. But yeah, this is ready to go back in the car, and then we just gotta put the diverter valve back on. Yeah. Alright, now I'm tightening the turbo bolts. It's been a long process of getting this back in, but you're gonna struggle with it no matter what. If you're taking it out, putting it in, just transferred all the lines, put it back in, and now we're just repeating the process. You got 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts, the O2 sensor, oil feed line right there, and then all your other stuff that needs to be put back in. But we're getting there, surely but slowly. Alright, we've moved a little forward, or I have at least. So, the problem I ran into, so at the bottom there's the oil feed line, and that goes into the block down there, and it was twisted, so the bolt wasn't lining up, and I was having a problem for like 35 minutes trying to get that lined up. So I had to reach my hand over the back of this, reach my hand through there, and with this hand I pushed up, and with this hand I put the bolt in, and it seemed to work. So got around that, tightened up the turbo bolts. Now I'm just gonna put all the lines back together, make sure everything's tight, and then we're gonna move on to turbo inlet, diverter valve, and then the intake. If you stuck this far in the video, thank you. Big shout out to CTS and everybody that made this possible. Shout out to Karma Speed for selling dope products for the Volkswagen. And if you want to buy anything for Volkswagen or the Focus ST, go ahead and hit up Karma Speed. I'll have them linked down below, and I'll have all the links to this product down in the description below. But right now we're going to keep going. Now we're just putting everything back together. Got the coil packs back on. We got those little things back on. Now we're doing the coolant crossover pipe. Now buttoned up. skills. And we're using IE's program. We flashed the car with the IS38 tune, checked for leaks, and we're all good there. But right now, we're trying to adapt the wastegate. So basically, on the wastegate, there's a little rod, and you have to adapt that in this green area when it opens and closes. So we're trying to get that right now. Other than that, everything went back together. No leaks as of yet. We did have to top off the coolant, oil, and then we got to do an oil change. And we're gonna go for a drive once we get this. Thank you, Bradley. So we finished everything up. First 5 minutes we get in the car, there's a 5.0, 3 people deep in the car, and we destroy the thing.
506 speed.
Yeah, 6 speed too. And his girl was in the car. I ain't sorry though. It was kind of funny. But I'll make a video of driving it and a POV video with the new setup I got. Look forward to that video too. But if you guys liked it, please subscribe and like and comment and share. It may not have been the most informative video, but it was still really cool. This is our first time doing the turbo upgrade, so we had fun with it. There was some struggles, but overall we aced this thing first try.
How long did it take?
Tell 'em.
1:30 to 9:30, and that included about an hour of tuning.
Yeah, so like an hour of tuning with the wastegate adaptation, and then buying the credits, uploading it. Other than that, literally right out the gate, right out the box, literally ripped this thing, and it was taking it. But yeah, catch you guys in the next video.